Hey, what's up, guys? Last time we talked about pee, so this time we're going to talk about the poop situation during pregnancy. Things are not going as they normally do. First, you need to identify if you're actually sick or perhaps you have food poisoning. Those are things you're going to want to let your doctor or midwife or whoever's taking care of you know, because you could potentially be harming your baby from that. So you need to rule that out first. If you don't think you're sick, you're just having digestive issues, that's super common during pregnancy. It helps to look at a picture. I'll kind of describe it to you, but it would help. We talked before about how some of your organs get pushed up by your uterus. Some get pushed down, some gets pushed back. Your digestive tract and your colon, they just get smashed like this. So it's very hard for anything to pass through. Remember also your stomach acid, the pH is a little bit off, and you might have some issues going on with your gut bacteria like we talked about in my morning sickness video. If you haven't seen it, it has some good information about that. So, but really be conscious of the smashed organs. It's going to be really difficult for anything to pass through. So what can happen is if you're having diarrhea, you could be like super backed up and it's only the wet stuff that can come out. Or if it's the other way, you might just be completely constipated, completely bloated, and you don't want to feel uncomfortable like that. So let's go over some things you can do. First of all, you know you're dehydrated. You're pregnant, you're dehydrated. Make sure you're drinking enough water. You need more water. It's going to take more to get everything to push through nicely. You also want to avoid foods that are hard to digest. So like we talked about in the morning sickness video, do not eat that bread and toast and crackers and the sugary beverages that your doctor's telling you with the morning sickness issues. They're going to really make your digestive issues worse. Those foods are hard to digest. They get trapped in there. Maybe also lay off on heavier foods like dairy. You may be having aversions to dairy and meat anyways. That's fine. Those foods are a little bit harder to digest. You do want to add more fiber to your diet. Fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. Don't drink juice. Eat the actual fruit. Those are good, but you don't want too much fiber because that can cause issues too, and that can cause bloating and other issues that you don't want to deal with. But just adding some fiber to your diet, and then with that fiber, make sure you're drinking enough water, because without the water, again, it's not going to go anywhere. You also may have developed a food sensitivity or intolerance that's just going to happen during pregnancy. So maybe you've never had an issue with dairy before, and now every time you have dairy, it's had you running to the bathroom. That's really common too, because your hormones are changing, the stomach acid is changing, different things are going on. Your body chemistry can completely change during during pregnancy. So just know that maybe you've been fine eating a food your whole life and now you're not. Kind of be aware of that. The major ones are going to be dairy, processed foods, but there's other little ones too. Like some people get an intolerance to Splenda or artificial sweeteners, certain spices, certain vinegars and condiments like ketchup and mustard have the white vinegar, and some people get an intolerance to that during pregnancy. So just be aware if there's a certain food that makes you not feel good, maybe avoid that for a little bit. Coffee too. Maybe you're still drinking coffee during pregnancy, which I did. It might just stimulate you more than usual and give you an upset stomach. So you could cut back on that, or try doing tea, or just try drinking your coffee with water or with a meal, and that might help. Also, stress could be affecting your digestive system as well. So try to manage your stress, deep breathing, exercise, lack of exercise can really affect your digestive system. Remember, it's not functioning the way that it normally does, so you may have to put in more effort. So simple things, adding a little bit more walking, doing a little bit of stretching, particularly right when you get up in the morning to get everything in motion. I would drink water when you get up in the morning as well, before eating or drinking any other foods or beverages. That'll just kind of get everything moving in the right direction. Also adding probiotic foods. I talked about this in the morning sickness video too. If your gut bacteria is poor, it's going to be very aggravated during pregnancy. So getting that healed is good. Definitely avoiding the sugar and the processed foods will help. And then adding in probiotics. I would try to do the probiotic foods first. Sauerkraut, kombucha, which is a drink. You can find it in most grocery stores now. Plain yogurt. Don't get the yogurt with sugar, but you can mix it into a smoothie with fruits so it tastes good. Not just, unless you like plain yogurt, that's fine. Kefir, which is like a liquid yogurt drink. And then ginger is really good. You can do pickled ginger, and it's like a double. It's like the ginger is great for killing the bad gut bacteria, and the pickling is the fermentation, so that's a good one if you like it or if you can stand eating it. Bone broth is also really good, the collagen, or you could get like a plain collagen powder that's flavorless that you can add to beverages, and that will actually help heal your gut over time. Those are all good things to try. You also could be nutrient deficient. So if your baby is taking all of your nutrients, you may not be getting enough for what you need. So make sure you're taking a good prenatal. And when you take that prenatal vitamin, make sure you're drinking enough water so it gets properly absorbed into your system. Another thing you can try, particularly for constipation, this isn't so much for diarrhea, magnesium, which I've talked about in other videos. You can take it orally. Make sure you drink enough water with it again so it actually gets used. Or you could try it topically over your stomach. That can help your bowels relax a little bit, because remember, you're smashed, so it can kind of help you relax so food can pass through properly. With your food, every time you eat a meal, you could try adding something with a lot of digestive enzymes to help you get those foods processed, broken down. Cucumbers, papayas. You can also buy an enzyme supplement that's concentrated, and that will help everything move properly. And always drink water with every meal. Make sure you drink a little bit of water afterwards. That'll just help everything break down properly, push through, go where it needs to go. Yeah, that's it. Water, avoid processed foods, try to add in some probiotic foods. Movement is really important, and a little bit of that goes a really long way. And then try to manage your stress too, because that could be an issue. And just know that you really try to visualize what's going on in your body with your organs rearranging themselves. You're smashed. It's hard for things to pass through. So be conscious of what you're eating, drinking water, and pay really close attention to if you have a food intolerance or sensitivity, which is not an allergy. I'm not saying that something's making you sick. Just some things might be harder to digest than others. That's pretty much it. Keep in there. Good luck. Drink more water. Knowledge, bitches. Bye.